deal to stay in Miami. The sharpshooter averaged 11 points per game and shot 39% from three last season. Now, luxury taxes, that's where Miami is going to enter now after salary cap is now up to $127 million. They're over the cap substantially. But we're going to go to Summer League action. Coach, let's do this. Miami Heat, New Orleans Pelicans. The first round of the Summer League tournament, there is Mr. Diallo, that is an and one, making the free throw. And Gerard Jones had himself a game going off from downtown.
They love this young man. They think he has so much upside.
We're going to see plenty of him later on in the highlight. Derek Walton Jr. knocks down the J. Miami finds itself up by 1 at halftime. Second half, more Jones going to the rack, showing that elevation. Walt Lemon Jr. Tough layup, 18 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Miami up by 1. More Diallo. 28 points, 13 rebounds. Very impressive, Coach.
Huge game.
Very, very big play. But then Derek Walton Jr. beats the buzzer, knocks down the three. And then the man we spoke about earlier, Jones. 31 points, 8 rebounds. This is pretty good for him, right, Coach?
Gives you a little bit inside, a little bit outside.
Gives you a little bit of everything right there. Miami gets the victory against New Orleans, 110 to 106. Coach, what sticks out right there?
31 points in 31 minutes for Jones. That's what sticks out.
That is very efficient. Knicks, Celtics. There is Danny Ainge. Do not answer the phone if you are a GM in the NBA and he is calling you. Just a quick note. That is a hesitation, and then you are going to the rack. Yabusele. Kyrie likes that. Boston up early. Now, a lot of Knicks fans are drinking the Kool-Aid on Knox. Coach, your thoughts?
I think he's an outstanding prospect. All those people that were booing on draft night, shame on you. You'll be out there cheering, waving the flags during the year.
Yes, they will be. Lonzo Trial with the pull-up three, top of the key. That is good. Nevertheless, Boston still up by 13 at halftime. Now, this is a little party that they're having out there, Vegas. It's called a block party. Get that shot out of here. Michael Robinson says, no, thank you. Now, Michael Robinson doing it defensively and offensively. Got to reward the big man. Late in the game, Boston, that is Semi Olynyk. Knocks down the three-pointer. Boston gets the victory, winning by 7 in the Summer League.
You know what happens? They play these young guys. They practice for a couple of days, get 5 practices in 2.5 days. They come out, play in one league, jump to this league, and all of a sudden you get to the playoffs and you're sitting down, guys like, I want to see Ntilikina play for New York in the playoffs. This is a huge summer, I think, for his development, yet they sit him out in this game, they get knocked out.
Very interesting. Doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, but sometimes things in Summer League don't always make sense. But nevertheless, this is part 2 of the eye-openers, myself, but mostly Coach, because he's the legend on set. We've been paying attention to players that might stick out in the Summer League. So starting first, Mo Bamba doesn't play tonight, but you've seen enough of him so far in the Summer League.
I think this guy has so much upside. He's got a ways to go. But when you see how hard he plays, you see the development process taking place. He's got a lot of confidence in his game. And when you got a guy who can change the game around the rim, bring the defensive field goal percentage to a spot where your team can compete year in and year out for one of those top 5 spots, this is a guy that can do that. And not a bad stroke from the outside at the same time. He's got a lot of things he can do okay right now, and they're all going to get better.
Speaking of getting better, Trayvon Blewett is doing very well now. In fact, he's a lot better. Just inked a 2-way deal with the Pelicans, and he's somebody that you've looked at and you've been impressed.
You have to be impressed with a guy who can make shots. And whenever this guy comes out and shoots the ball, particularly with range, you have to be concerned. And you have to understand this will open the defense up. It allows the driving and slashing by the penetrating people. Having that guy open that can knock him down on a regular basis, a huge plus.
Definitely a huge plus in making big things happen. The Pelicans always looking for that outside shooting. Moving on now, Monte Morris for the Denver Nuggets. He's been very impressive in the backcourt, been putting up nearly 20 points every single game. What do you see in his game that you think can translate to the regular season?
It's interesting. They've got a terrific young backcourt playing for the varsity team right now.
Yes, they do.
And then when you look at what's happened with their summer league team, they've got a couple of young guys in the backcourt who can play a little bit. I think you have to be impressed with Morris, the skills that he has to take the ball to a spot that he wants on the floor. We see him make good decisions with the basketball, and yet, when needed, he can score and put points on the board for him.
Definitely can put points on the board now. R.J. Hunter comes from Pike High School in Indianapolis. Courtney Lee, Jeff Teague, a lot of players have come out of there that have made the NBA, but now he's making a name for himself.
What about Georgia State? We forgot to mention that, didn't we?
You did.
Got to honor this guy, okay? Now, a guy who, it's going to take some players a little bit longer than other players. And this guy might be one of those that after the second or third year, a little bit more experience, a little bit more strength, a little bit better understanding. The one thing he knows he can do, he knows he can make shots. And that's something, if you can do that in this league, there's a spot for you on the team. He just might now be coming to the point in his career where he's ready to blossom and show that he can be an NBA player.
Somebody that definitely blossomed in the NCAA tournament was Duncan Robinson. We saw what he was able to do for Michigan, but now he's continuing to put up numbers as he enters the NBA.
Listen, as one of our cohorts said to us earlier tonight, this guy should have a San Antonio Spurs uniform.
Yes, he should.
How can you have a name Duncan Robinson or Robinson Duncan, whichever way you want to do it? He's got to be a Spur at some point.
Yes, he does, but he definitely can knock it down from the outside, fitting right into what the Heat need, getting the outside shooting.
A good find by them, this young man, another guy who makes shots. And it seems more and more now we're saying this guy can really make shots because young people are understanding you've got to learn how to make shots from the outside the way the game is being played today. Think back 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't all that important. Drive, slash, get to the rack, finish off with a dunk if you could. If you were a shooter, there was a specialty spot for you on a roster. Nowadays, all 5 positions can shoot from the outside.
That is definitely true. So the 8th pick in the 2017 NBA draft, teammates like to call him Frankie Smokes. We didn't see him get to play tonight, but you're still nevertheless impressed from what you've seen from him in Summer League.
Yeah, again, another time we would like to see a young man compete, get out there, particularly when the playoffs are starting, but it didn't happen. We saw this guy show during the season that he can defend at this level. The big question for him is, can he make shots on a regular basis, and what kind of range does he have? I think his in-between game, that 12 to 14-foot shot, he's comfortable with that. He'll make enough of those to keep you honest. But whether or not he can stretch the defense when they're swinging the ball, it gets around to him, and he's 22, 23 feet away, can he make enough so that guys are flying out to close out, which then opens up his driving and dishing ability.
So we just went through a number of players, Blewett, Morris, Hunter, Duncan Robinson. Out of all these players we named, who do you think is going to have the largest impact as a rookie on their team?
Can I say Ayton? Or am I not allowed to say?
You know what? I think that's safe to say. That's definitely a safe bet.
I think when you're the number 1 pick, and we've seen him play very well up to this point, he had a poor game today, considering what he's been doing. He's been averaging like around 16 points, 11 rebounds per game. Today, not so good of a game for him. No assists today. Didn't find any open teammates. Had only 10 points in 30 minutes, and interestingly, his team loses by 2.
Very interesting indeed. It's going to be interesting indeed to see what he's able to do during the regular season. Well, did the Tsar snub anyone in that segment? Bucs fans might think so. Wait till you see the work that Kristen Wood put in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the best 30 minutes of your day. It's Game Time with yours truly, Ro Paris, along with the Czar of Telestrators, Coach Mike Fratello.
Bro, good thing.
So we're both on the second night of a back-to-back right now. But our legs aren't tired. We got plenty of energy. We're ready to go, aren't we?
Give me all the minutes you can. I'm ready for them.
We're definitely ready. The MGM Resort Summer League continues, and plenty of good games tonight, starting with Philly and Phoenix. There's the number 1 overall pick, DeAndre Ayton.
Well, it's good to see a high pick still playing in the playoffs out there.
Right? We'll see more of him in a second. Isaiah Miles dropping him from 3. We'll see more of him plenty later on, but there, DeAndre Ayton.
Big man has dominated the entire Summer League. This was not one of his better games.
It was not. More on him in a second, but first off, Furkan Korkmaz. He's dropped 40 before, so he knows exactly how to get buckets. He had 18 tonight. The floater right there. Ties the score at 58. To the 4th quarter we go. Demetrius Jackson, that is a steal, and he shows the house.
Big man holding the ball behind his head. Forget those little guys come around.
Yeah, that's usually not the smart thing. He'll learn, though, and he recovers right here with a nice dunk. 10.6 rebounds, and a mistake made, and you don't want to do that because Shaquille Harrison will take advantage. 1-point game. Booker, 3-ball corner pocket. That is good. 11.7 rebounds. Philadelphia, 2-point victory over the Suns.
Phoenix's first loss.
That's definitely not good if you're the Phoenix Suns and you want to have aspirations to win the Summer League. So the number 1 overall pick, DeAndre Ayton, so he's already commanding a double team in Summer League as the number 1 overall pick. What do you like about his game so far?
Once again, we have to start out by saying, remember, it's only Summer League. However, having said that, against the bigger opponents, he has completely dominated thus far. Going into tonight's game, he was averaging 16 points a game, 11 rebounds a game, shooting 67% from the floor. Got a nice little touch from that 17-foot area. Did not have one of his better games tonight, just 4 of 10 from the floor. Only got to the free throw line for 2 attempts, no assists tonight. So he's played better up to this point, and could it be that the practices, the number of games in very few days are starting to catch up?
Yes, they definitely are. But like I said at the beginning, they might be tired. We're not tired. We're going to keep things moving. Another one of the lottery picks played tonight, and there he is right there, Jaren Jackson Jr., leading the Grizzlies against the OKC Thunder. I mean, he's definitely an eye-opener for you, Coach, so far.
I love this young man. When you realize he's just 18 years old, he has not turned 19 yet. He's 6'11", 235 pounds. Does things with his left hand, does it with his right hand, can defend the rim. A lot of things to like about him.
That pass out of the double team, gotta like that. Finds DJ Stevens for the dunk. Memphis up by 21. To the fourth quarter we go. Javon Carter finds Jackson again.
Well, he's big enough. He should be able to find him.
Yeah, he's very tall. Then in the corner, Diablo, former Wildcat. He had 14 points, 5 rebounds. He has a 44.5-inch vertical. That means he can sky high. Fourth quarter. Defense, that is the name of the game. Get that shot out of here. Yes, that's how you get it done. Jaren Jackson showing the length.
And he's blocked shots with both hands tonight. Blocks with the left, he's blocked with the right early. He's averaging 2.5 blocks per game in the Summer League.
Right at his average, gets above that with 3 blocks tonight against the Oklahoma City Thunder. After the game, Roz Golden-Wood had caught up with the big man.
Jaren, as you continue to play in Summer League, and also as the intensity of this tournament now starts to pick up, what are you finding helps get you rhythm offensively at this level?
Just being patient. You can't force it. I think at times, I find moments in games where I'm forcing it, or I'm taking bad shots and not letting offense come to me. But if I just relax and play my game and share the ball and everything keeps moving through the offense, you'll get good shots.
Do you ever feel like that on the defensive end? Because you had 3 big blocks, and it feels like you're committing to something that's making you successful.
That's what we all commit to. It's defense. That's what we're known for as a team, and that's our staple. So I'm supposed to help the guards if they get beat, and they're supposed to help me by not getting beat. So it's the same thing.
Teamwork makes the dream work. During the game, I spoke with Coach Bickerstaff, and he said grit and grind is still going to be a part of the mentality with you guys. What do you think grit and grind mentality means to you?
Ooh. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but it's really just playing hard each possession. I mean, it's not hanging your head on offense. It's making sure you make up for it on defense. That's that mentality you got to have, because you look at the teams that are how they're built now. They're really good offensive teams, but if you can, get them out of their comfort zone and play hard defensively, you should be successful.
Awesome. Well, I wish you good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for your time.
No problem. Round 1 over. Let's go.
So, we have some breaking news, but we're going to get to that in just a second. Before we get to the breaking news, we got to talk about Jaren Jackson Jr. He comes from good stock. Both parents have NBA experience, and clearly he's the prototypical 3-and-D type of guy that people love to see in the NBA now.
Yeah, I mentioned a little bit ago, he's 6'11" right now, 18 years old. He could wind up being bigger. Okay,
yes, he could.
At 235 pounds. Kind of interesting. He's listed as a power forward, and maybe that's what he is exactly. His field goal percentage, combining both summer leagues thus far going into tonight's game, was just 36%. Yet, from the three-point line, where he was 11 of 21, he's shooting over 50% from the three-point line.
Wait. Shooting 11
of 21
from
downtown going into the game tonight. He's 0 for 1 in tonight's game.
That's amazing. Clearly he gets that from his dad, who could, knock down a 3
or gets it from Coach Izzo, who had him out there stroking it from behind the three-point line.
That is true as well. But so we have some breaking news. This comes in from multiple sources. The Denver Nuggets have inked Isaiah Thomas to a 1-year deal for the veteran minimum. That is according to multiple sources. So he goes to Denver, Coach. It seems like this backcourt just got a little bit more crowded.
Well, you think about their young guards, Harris and Murray, okay, starting out. Then you have Barton, who can swing either position, whether it's a 2-guard or a small forward. Beasley, the young kid that they have on the team. And now you add Isaiah Thomas to that. So missing out on the playoffs in the last game of the regular season, add some veteran experience to that. What the role will be, well, kind of interesting. Remember, they brought back Jameer Nelson a couple of seasons back, who was supposed to be a fill-in kind of guy. He wound up starting before the year was over. But having said that, I'm not sure that Isaiah Thomas will take the starting spot from one of those young starting guards. But in his role, whatever that might be, hopefully he gives them veteran leadership experience. And you have to feel bad for a guy who was on his way to a big, big contract. Because of an injury, he's signing a veteran's minimum.
Ooh, yeah, he talked about backing up that Brinks truck. I don't think that truck is moving anywhere. But I'll ask you this. We saw him move around multiple teams last season. Do you think he ends the season on Denver's roster?
I would say that all depends. How did he recover from the surgery? Can he come out there and play like the Isaiah Thomas that played in Boston before he was injured in that playoff run that Boston had that year? If he can get back and play at that level, this guy's got a couple years left for sure.
Well, it'll be definitely interesting to see what IT can do this season. Well, there's been a number of young players giving kids the business so far this summer. But have they caught the eye of the czar, the telestrator? Part 2 of our Summer League Eye Openers coming up.